There are two ways that people make decisions, intellectually and emotionally, and to illustrate the difference, I'd like to share a story. Someone very close to me has smoked since he was about 15 and tried time and again to give up. Now he knows the health risks, but no matter how hard he tried, he would always pick it up again. Then one day, he was outside having a cigarette, and his granddaughter, who was 3 at the time, saw him and said, "Grandpa, I don't want you to smoke, because then you'll die and I can't play with you anymore." It was at that moment he finally gave up smoking for good. Now the reason he was finally able to kick the habit was because he had an emotional reason to do so, not just an intellectual one. You see, in 90% of cases, we make decisions based on emotion and then justify them rationally. So how does this apply to a modern business environment? Well, here there are 3 key challenges. In business, we tend to use intellectual rationalization 90% of the time. We quote all sorts of facts and figures, resulting in little, if any, emotional engagement. Secondly, we've experienced an explosion of new and divergent media that companies often don't understand but want to be part of. And finally, companies often outsource their communication to technicians who are focused on the technology, not on the content. The result of all of this is that most communication efforts fail to engage with audiences and simply end up adding to the noise. At 7 Stories, our experience tells us that the way people connect is through story. We know that a compelling story engages emotionally with people and affects real change. We also believe that the best person to create your story is you. How we do that is firstly by analysing the stories you're currently telling audiences through your communication channels. Next, we help you understand the principles for telling a compelling story by helping you build one of your own. We then bring your story to life using highly engaging vehicles, such as an animated storyboard like the one you're watching right now. And finally, we work with you to execute and deliver your story to audiences with real impact. So while the final product may vary, the process is always the same. Create a compelling story, identify the most effective medium, and then deliver the story in the most impactful way. By following this approach, you're able to cut through the noise and connect with audiences in more dynamic, creative, and emotionally engaging ways. That's why at 7 Stories, our purpose is to bring compelling stories to life.